Well, she left a corporate job to start her own bakery business, opening the doors 2 days after giving birth to her second daughter. And after 20 years of wins and learning experiences, she sold that business for a profit. Now our next guest has a new book out to help other women entrepreneurs on their journey. It's called Make Waves: How Women Entrepreneurs Stop Reacting, Start Profiting, and Build a Business That Lasts. It is out right now. Welcome very much to Jennifer Koch. She's also the founder of Next Wave Business Coaching. So you're doing all the things, helping all the ladies. Jennifer, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Let's talk about your journey a little bit, right? Giving birth 2 days, and before opening your store and that journey and what you learned from it and what you hope to share.
Well, let's say that's not the way to start a business. I will tell you that. And that just shows how inexperienced I was and I didn't know what I was getting into. But what I learned from that is you have to rely on other people. You have to learn to delegate quick, and you have to really go deep and understand why you want to build your business if you're going to stick around and last. Oh. And so it was exhausting. I talk about in my book the moment that I hit the bathroom floor crying, like, what have I done? But, I ended up persevering for 20 years, which was really fun. And a lot of pitfalls, but a lot of wins.
Absolutely. And I think probably a lot of people have had that moment on the bathroom floor crying, right? And there are lots of books out there, and you've said it. What sets this book apart?
It's interesting because women entrepreneurs are taking the lead with small businesses. 40% are now owned by women. Wow. And in the last few years, more women are starting businesses than our male counterparts. But the reality is we do have different challenges. We do have different strengths. We lead differently. And a lot of times, we need to learn how to balance all that. For most of us, we're natural caretakers.
Sure.
We might be building a family, we might be taking care of parents, and so how do we juggle all that and not get overwhelmed? So I just wanted to speak to that, because when you get a bunch of women in a room who own businesses, all the same challenges kind of rise to the top. We're all dealing with the same things, and we just need to talk about it, and it just helps you keep going when you feel like you're all by yourself.
Absolutely, right? So yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
And then talk about how the book is structured, because there's engagement opportunities for you to kind of write and reflect on where you're at.
Right now we have more information than anybody could ever need to grow your business. Our problem is we don't know what step to take. How do we discern all this? Mm-hmm. So I broke it up into 10 chapters in my story, and at some point you're going to see yourself in that journey. So at the end of each chapter there's 3 questions, because my hope is that you'll reflect on where you're at and come up with an action step so that you can keep moving forward.
I love that, the action steps, because that's the important part, because I think a lot of people are like, yes, I can reflect, yes, I know what I need to do, but making those steps.
Yes. Talk
about how to do that. Can you elaborate a little bit?
First of all, we always say, we need to be confident and then we'll go do this thing. Confidence is going to come next. Action is what's going to build the confidence. So you have to surround yourself with people, you have to have people in your camp, and you have to be really clear on where you're trying to go.
I love that. Surrounding yourself with people, I think that is also crucial.
Crucial.
Absolutely. And so that's kind of what you do as a business as well. So if somebody is in a spot and they don't necessarily know where they need to go, they need a little direction, a little vision, a little support, that's what you do.
That's what I do now, and I absolutely love it. I help women become more profitable, because if you can become more profitable, you're going to build to last. And that's my goal, is I want you to dictate your next step with your business, not let your circumstances dictate it for you. Okay. And so I bring women entrepreneurs and small businesses together, and we just talk about what's the next focus, what's your profit look like. Sometimes you just need a little extra outside, advice along the way, because you can't read the label when you're inside the jar, is what I always say.
Absolutely, that's so true. And I think this can be an isolating journey for a lot of women too, who are trying to balance all the things, but then also trying to run a business. They're like, where do I go, right?
It can feel very lonely, mm-hmm. and it also can feel very emotional, because it's your baby. Right. And you can feel torn between home and work and back and forth, and so we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. Entrepreneurs are overachievers anyway, and so the last thing we need is more pressure, but we sometimes just fail to stop and celebrate the wins.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's talk about, who is this book for? Is this for someone who's already started a business? Is this for someone who's thinking about it? Who should be reading this?
This is for someone who's in that first 5 years of their journey.
Okay.
So either they're thinking about starting, or they're really kind of in year 2 or 3. I call that the messy middle. Yeah. What got you there isn't going to keep getting you to the next step, and that's when we start to kind of wonder, boy, how come I'm not making more money than I thought I was going to be? And do I really want to keep doing this? So it's really geared for that person, that especially women who are in their first 5 years.
Okay, perfect. And if they want a copy of this book, where do we find it?
You can get it on paperback or Kindle on Amazon, and it launched this week.
Congratulations to you, Jennifer. What a huge accomplishment. So there you go. Make Waves Jen, K-O-K, Coke.com, if you want to learn more and maybe get you to help them out with their business in person, because you do that as well.
I do, and I'm always open to having a conversation. I love hearing their stories.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.